Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Redmen TV and your latest episode of Transfer Insight. My name is Dan Claw. I'm absolutely delighted to be joined by Sport Build reporter Phillip Arens for this one. Phillip, my friend, how are you? Okay?
Thank you very much. Good weather here in Cologne and hopefully in England as well.
Yeah, beautiful at the minute, beautiful. I don't know what's happened, but all of a sudden we've been blessed in Liverpool with glorious sunshine, wall-to-wall sunshine as well. Yeah, I'm not complaining. I'm absolutely not complaining. Yeah, Phillip, let's dive straight into it. We're here to talk about Jeremie Frimpong. Obviously, Bayer Leverkusen are a club that you follow all over the place for Sport Build. There's plenty of talk here at the moment about Jeremie Frimpong. Obviously, we now know Trent Alexander-Arnold will leave at the end of the season, and a lot of people, a lot of reports, a lot of speculation is suggesting that Frimpong might be the man to replace him. He's been reported and spoken about for a long time over in Germany as well. What's the current feeling? What's the current noise? What's the current rumours around him and his future?
Yeah, in fact, Liverpool seems to be the club who has the biggest interest in him. And, his situation is very clear. He has a buyout clause, which is about 35 or 40 million euros. And let's see if there will be a change for him. In the last years, there has always been rumors about Frimpong moving. Also last year, even Liverpool was mentioned there. But as far as we are here at Bild and Sport Build, we're one big company. As far as our information are at that moment, it's that Arne Slot is in concrete talks with him, and he seems to admire this player who can be a very logical replacement on the right wing, and because of this offensive Dutch play. And Jeremie Frimpong came in January 2020 from Celtic as a right back, but he has never been really a right back because he's more than a right winger, even playing outside right on the wing. So a 3-4-3 would fit ideal for him, like he played here in Leverkusen, he grew and developed so well under Xabi Alonso. And yesterday, his reaction when he scored against Dortmund, his run was directly to Xabi Alonso. He had his farewell game yesterday, and all the team joined the celebration. And this is to show the relationship he had with this coach.
Yeah, that's interesting. And I was going to ask you about that because obviously we know Xabi is leaving probably to Real Madrid at this point. Do you think that will make Jeremie Frimpong slightly more interested in leaving Leverkusen this summer?
It depends on who will become the new coach here. So there are a lot of talks are going on, and as far as we are concerned and informed, that Cesc Fabregas could be the new one here in Leverkusen. But I think that he considered his future after 4.5 years here in Leverkusen now to do the next step. And if a club like Liverpool with a Dutch coach is there, so it might be logical. But there are not. There are other clubs also from England on his trace, and I think he will. It has to be a club in the top 5 from England. And of course, he wants to play international football on club level next year. But it seems so logical that Liverpool will come along. But at this point, Leverkusen always says that we are in a good situation with the players. Frimpong is still under contract in Leverkusen until 2028. But with this buyout clause, everybody knows that if there is somebody coming, he can decide. He's free to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned the buyout clause there again. The fee is thought to be around the 35, 40 million euro mark, as you mentioned. There have been some reports here in the past few days that won't need to be paid in one lump sum in one go. Do you know anything about that and the details of that clause at all?
No, I don't know. But I think if you have a player like him, of course, a club, when you have a buyout clause, There's nothing to negotiate. Pay or leave it. So everything is clear. There are no negotiations to be said. This is my interpretation of this situation. If you want to have him, you know what the price is.
Yeah, come and get him. Absolutely. Yeah. Let's talk about the player. You touched a moment ago on his attacking attributes and his ability to be that very advanced right back, right winger, and have influence scoring goals. We've seen at the weekend assists. He's been brilliant ever since he arrived in Germany. Just tell us a little bit more about him and what he does bring to games of football.
First of all, talking about the player, he's very fast. He made 1,021 sprints, which is in 33 games now, and he's on the top. He's the top sprinter in the Bundesliga, with an average speed about 36.34 kilometers per hour, which is not the highest level. He's on position 7. His crosses. He's the player with the third most crosses in the Bundesliga, 94, which is also very good. He's lacking a bit scoring goals. And this is something he said to himself. I remember the game in the first round of the season against Stuttgart when Leverkusen finished 0-0. He was the one who missed a lot of chances, also with a header. And he said, I have so many chances, but I can't score. This is still his problem, but we always say here in Leverkusen, if he would also score, he wouldn't play here because he would be a world-class player. Yeah. So his I remember sometimes when Ronald Koeman said I don't invite him for the national team because he has problems in the defense, in his defensive play. So this has changed. He has learned a lot of working back. And so in this 4.5 years here in the Bundesliga with Xabi Alonso, he improved very, very well. And of course, he is, I mentioned the player, but now we'll talk about the guy.
Yeah.
He brings such a good vibe into a dressing room. His energy, he's always smiling, doing jokes with Boniface, with Adli, with Florian Wirtz, with all these guys, which are in his age, of course. And I will tell you a very nice story from last Saturday when Leverkusen played the under-19 semi-final for the German Championship here in Leverkusen against Bayern Munich. You know, this Leverkusen side who played against Liverpool at the academy in November. I think that they lost 4-1. Yeah, it was 4-1. Yeah, they were up 1-0. I can remember. I was there.
I was there as well. Yeah, I remember the game.
Yeah, they were very good in the first half. Very, very good. It was a very close game. And so it was a very, very tight game. 4-3 after extra time. So Leverkusen's young guns qualified for the final here, which is a very huge thing against Cologne now. And Jeremie Frimpong and Adli and some other guys were watching the game because the first team was training in the big stadium, which is beside the small stadium. So they went from the dressing room to the bench and supported the young guys. And after the final whistle, when Leverkusen have won this tie, Frimpong and Adli were running onto the pitch and were celebrating with the young guys and also leading the lap of honor. So this shows how he's within this club. He loves this club because he grew here and he developed here. And this was also for the younger players was of course a big sign when one of the professionals comes and celebrates the victory with them. So, and I think this shows he's very, very heartful, a very nice guy. He's doing a very good project for children in Ghana. You know,
yes,
his parents are from Ghana. And he could have also have played for the Ghanaian national team, but he always said, I wanted to play for Holland. And though he always says, I can't even speak Dutch, because he grew up in Manchester. Maybe we can talk about it later. And so he was there for the first time in Ghana, and he was welcomed as a national hero. And this is very interesting. And so he got there for the first time at his origins. And he's very, very polite, and the fans really love him here. And I think he's something, a guy always open-minded, always with a smile, but also on the pitch, very aggressive. Sometimes he's very close to getting suspended because his, sometimes his mindset is a bit going through some mirrors and walls, because he's so focused on everything he wants to get. So sometimes when you tease him, it's going a bit there was some shoutings on the pitch. If he goes to Liverpool, you will see what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. It sounds like a really popular member of that football club. The fans have clearly taken to him. Xabi Alonso's clearly got a very close relationship with him as well. He's a real character. We've seen that from some of the social clips that have gone viral already. Yeah. For his journey now, you mentioned obviously starting off at Man City's academy, making the move to Celtic, and arriving really at Bayer Leverkusen, obviously the Bundesliga champions last year. For his journey now, do you think he would be open to this next step in his career? You touched upon it earlier. Do you think he's looking at it going, I've done 4.5 years at Bayer Leverkusen. The time has probably come to make a move. Do you think that's kind of where we are? What's your hunch telling you?
Yeah, could be, because you don't know what will happen here. Maybe a lot of players after this domestic double, this incredible season they had last year. Of course, now it seems to be a bit like it's wrapped up, and maybe it's time for new, fresh blood, some new faces, and even maybe he knows this, that some guys will leave, and of course, when you have the chance to get to Liverpool, take it. I would say, but of course, here in Leverkusen, you have the best surroundings. I don't know any other surroundings because I'm working here, but of course you have a very good structure in this club, very good people working around here. So you have very good facilities for everything. And Leverkusen has always been a good step in a career for you. See it like Kai Havertz. And how he developed in Leverkusen, and then he said, we're going to the Premier League. So I think maybe England is could be a good way for him to start a new chapter in his life, in his career, because his family is living there. As I mentioned, he grew up in Manchester. He was born in Amsterdam, and then his family moved to Manchester when he was 8 years old, and then City discovered him at a youth tournament when he was playing for a very, very small club. And so this is the story behind it. And he grew up in the academy, was playing for the under-23, was training sometimes with Guardiola, but never made his debut for the first team. But of course, his name is still common there. And but I think with a Dutch coach in Liverpool, it could be a good chance for him.
Yeah, you said it earlier on. It feels like a very logical step, a very logical move with obviously Premier League champions, and like I say, with Arne Slot and Cody Gakpo and Virgil van Dijk and Gravenberch, there's people he will be familiar with from the national team setup, of course, as well. Just finally, Philip, before I let you go, obviously, you will have sources, you will have people that you speak to all the time. As it stands right now, the Bundesliga season's finished. We know Xabi Alonso's going to leave. Do you think Jeremie Frimpong, maybe not Liverpool, but do you think he will still be at Bayer Leverkusen next summer?
It's a hard question. Honestly, it's a hard question. I think he's one of the guys who might leave this summer. I can't say yes, he will leave. because he's still under contract. If there is a new coach who says, "Hey, I want to keep you, and these are my plans with you, let's have a talk." And I think it depends. And this is why Leverkusen are trying to present a new coach as soon as possible. Their aim was to do it in this week because, they have a lot of players on their list to come to this club, and because they will, of course, they have to transform the team in any part of the squad, from the goalkeeper to the defense, midfield, attack. So there is a lot of positions are open, and it depends on the project. And this is, I think, what Frimpong will wants to hear. And if it's okay for him, maybe he would like to say, I will stay another year.
Yeah.
But of course, as I mentioned, there is this buyout clause. And is this his chance to take it? Or if somebody comes?
No, absolutely, yeah. And as you say, I think Cesc Fabregas would actually be quite an exciting appointment. I think a lot of the players, not just Frimpong, obviously Florian Wirtz is in a similar sort of category, Boniface you mentioned earlier on, they would probably at least like to hear what Fabregas has to say. But yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of interest. And it's testament to what Bayer Leverkusen have done in the last 18 months, really, under Xabi Alonso. There's so many clubs are looking at their star players as potential transfer targets. Philip, go on.
You see when you mentioned Victor Boniface, as far as we're concerned, that Newcastle United is very, very keen on him. So there were reports about ongoing negotiations between Newcastle and Leverkusen. As far as we heard, that there are no negotiations at this stage, but Leverkusen is informed about the interest by Newcastle in Boniface. And there's also Patrick Schick linked with Manchester United. So a lot of clubs from the Premier League are looking at the Leverkusen players. Of course, not everyone will leave, but I think Victor Boniface will be the one who is going to the Premier League, surely. And maybe there will be some other guys.
Interesting. Okay, it's going to be a busy summer, Philip, a busy summer. Keeps us busy, keeps us talking. Thank you so much for your time. Massively, massively appreciate it. Everybody else, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Take care. I'll see you soon.